What happens when an undercover boss steps into the shoes of their employees? What happens when the person who signs the paychecks decides to walk in the footsteps of those who cash them? This is a story about sacrifice, hope, and the power of kindness. A story where the truth unfolds in the most unexpected way, and where one act of generosity changes lives forever. Meet Clara Bennett. Clara was the CEO of a mid-sized company called Horizon Goods, a company that specialized in outdoor equipment. She was smart, driven, and had a heart that often ached for people who worked tirelessly to keep her business running. But Clara had a secret. She believed that to truly understand her employees, she needed to walk in their shoes. Not just for a day, but long enough to feel their struggles, their fears, and their dreams. And so, she decided to go undercover. Clara wasn't just any boss. She was the kind of leader who believed in people. She believed that every person had a story, and every story mattered. But even she wasn't prepared for what she was about to discover. It was a chilly Monday morning when Clara walked into the Horizon Goods warehouse, disguised as a new employee named Lila. Her hair was dyed a shade darker, and she wore simple clothes. Nothing like the tailored suits she usually wore. She had a new name, a new identity, and a mission: to work alongside her employees and learn what their lives were really like. Her first day was overwhelming. The warehouse was bustling with activity. Boxes were being moved, orders were being packed, and the sound of forklifts echoed through the large space. Clara was assigned to work with a man named Derrick Mills. Derrick was in his late 30s, with a tired but kind face. He had been working at Horizon Goods for over a decade, and it showed in the way he moved, efficient, focused, but with a heaviness in his steps. Clara introduced herself as Lila, the new hire. Derrick gave her a warm smile and said, "Welcome to the team. It's not glamorous, but it's honest work." Clara nodded, feeling a pang of guilt. She knew this man worked hard, but she had no idea what his life was like outside these walls. As the days went by, Clara and Derrick worked side by side. They packed boxes, loaded trucks, and shared stories during their breaks. Derrick was a man of few words, but when he spoke, it was always with sincerity. Clara learned that he had a wife, Mia, and 2 kids, Sophie, who was 8, and Lucas, who was 5. Derrick's eyes lit up when he talked about his family, but there was also a shadow of worry that never seemed to leave him. One afternoon, during their lunch break, Clara noticed Derrick staring at his phone, his face pale. "Everything okay?" she asked. Try to sound casual. Derrick sighed and put his phone down. "It's nothing, just some bills. They keep piling up, and I don't know how we're going to make it this month." His voice was quiet, but the pain in his words was loud. Clara's heart ached. She wanted to tell him who she really was, to assure him that everything would be okay, but she knew she had to stay in character. Instead, she said, "I'm sorry, Derrick. That sounds really tough." He nodded, forcing a smile. "Yeah, but we'll get through it. We always do." A week later, Clara overheard Derrick talking to another coworker. His voice was low, but she caught bits of the conversation. "The bank called again. They're saying if we don't come up with $50,000, they're going to foreclose on the house. I don't know what to do." Clara's stomach dropped. She had no idea Derrick was facing such a crisis. She thought about her own life, the comfortable home she lived in, the financial security she had. And here was a man who had given so much to her company, now on the verge of losing everything. That night, Clara couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about Derrick and his family. She thought about the sacrifices he made every day, the weight he carried on his shoulders, and she knew she had to do something. The next day, Clara called a meeting with her senior management team. She revealed her undercover mission and shared what she had learned about Derrick's situation. "This man has been loyal to this company for years," she said, her voice firm. "And now he's about to lose his home. We have to help him." The room was silent for a moment. Then, one by one, the team agreed. They decided to surprise Derrick with a $50,000 gift to save his home. But Clara wanted to do more than just give him the money. She wanted him to know that he was valued, that his hard work mattered. A few days later, Clara arranged a special meeting at the warehouse. She invited Derrick and his family, along with the entire staff. Derrick had no idea what was happening. He thought it was just a regular team meeting. When everyone had gathered, Clara stepped forward. She was back in her CEO attire, but her heart was still Lila's. "Derrick," she began, her voice trembling with emotion, "I want to tell you a story. A story about a boss who thought she knew everything about her company until she decided to walk in the shoes of her employees." Derrick's eyes widened as he realized who she was. "Lila," he whispered, his voice filled with disbelief. Clara nodded. "Yes, Derrick, it's me. And during my time here, I learned something important. I learned about your dedication, your strength, and the challenges you've been facing. I learned about your family and how much they mean to you." She paused, taking a deep breath. "And so, on behalf of Horizon Goods, I want to give you this." She handed him an envelope. Inside was a check for $50,000. Derrick's hands shook as he opened the envelope. Tears filled his eyes as he read the amount. I don't know what to say," he stammered. Clara smiled, her own eyes glistening. "You don't have to say anything, Derrick. This is our way of saying thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for this company, and for being the kind of person who inspires us all." Derrick's wife, Mia, hugged him tightly, tears streaming down her face. The kids looked up at their dad, their eyes wide with wonder. The entire warehouse erupted in applause, but for Derrick, the world seemed to stand still. As the days turned into weeks, Derrick's life changed in ways he never imagined. The weight of the foreclosure was lifted, and he could finally breathe again. But more than that, he felt seen. He felt valued. And he knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, he wasn't alone. Clara, too, was changed by the experience. She realized that being a leader wasn't just about making decisions or driving profits. It was about understanding the people who made it all possible. It was about compassion, empathy, and the courage to make a difference. The story of Clara and Derrick spread throughout the company, and then beyond. It became a reminder that kindness has the power to change lives, and that sometimes the greatest gifts come from the most unexpected places. And so, the moral of the story is this. No matter who you are or where you come from, never underestimate the impact of your actions. A single act of kindness can light up the darkest of days, and a moment of compassion can change a life forever. Before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to thank you for joining us on this emotional journey. Stories like these remind us of the power of kindness, courage, and standing up for what's right. If this story touched your heart, made you think, or inspired you in any way, let us know in the comments below. Tell us where you're watching from. And don't forget to share this story with others. Sometimes, a simple act of sharing can make a huge impact. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join our community. We've got more heartfelt stories coming your way. Until next time, remember, kindness changes lives. See you soon.